At the foot of Stony Hill, where I once would lie and dream, and it haunts my memory still. Oh, would you like to see all nature in harmony? Come, I'll bet you never have seen a spot so lovely in the whole Caribbean.
Dog? What you talking about, man? I didn't see no dog.
How much do you pay for this place?
It's cheap. It's dirt cheap.
£6 or £7 a week.
£6 or £7? You must be mad, Inspector.
Sergeant.
I don't pay no £6 or £7. Just rented from a friend of mine. He let me have it for practically nothing.
How did you happen to fall out with this friend of yours? Did you get practically nothing behind in the rent? Or were you complaining about the decor?
We didn't fall out. We're still friends.
Are these yours?
Yeah.
Do you play them?
Now and then.
For a living?
Now and then.
You better not play them again for a while, had you? Not with that arm.
You can't make me mad, Inspector.
Sergeant.
Look, I ain't got no complaints against nobody. I just had a little too much to drink and slipped a little coming up the stairs, that's all. Nobody to blame but me.
I hope those stairs don't give you rabies.
Rabies? What's that?
It's a very nasty disease, very painful. And you get it after you've been bitten by a dog.
There you go again with this dog. Nothing bit anyone around here, except the bugs. I tell you, I had a couple jars of juice, and I was feeling a little high, that's all.
We don't need your story, you know, to bring an assault charge. 2 people saw it all. They told us exactly what happened.
Them white ladies?
That's right.
Well, they'd better watch out, or something's going to happen to them. White or no white.
What is? Who's going to do anything to them?
Fools, that's what. Shooting their mouth off. Damn fools.
Paste. Impastare. Impasto. Tony, what's the matter?
Last big chest of drawers is an absolute man.
What on earth are you looking for?
Can't find my fruit salad.
Your what?
The medals. For God's sake, Alice, now, you know, the decorations I got on the
What do
wall.
you want them for?
To wear them tonight. It's a reunion dinner, darling. I told you. Now, where have you hidden them?
I don't know. Wait a minute. Yes, I do remember seeing them. Sometime after Christmas. I know where they are.
It's a lunatic place to hide.
Not at all. It's very logical, really. Put them away with the other decorations. There we are. Aren't they pretty? What do they all mean?
It's 39 Star, Africa, Italian. Defense Medal and Victory Medal.
Did you have a good war, Tony?
Now, what's that supposed to mean?
Well, men are always saying that to each other, aren't they? He had a good war.
No, I had a ruddy awful war, thank you.
Oh, darling. Oh, what's this?
Oh, here.
Presented to Captain Anthony Brand by His Majesty the King of Greece. For valor. I say, that's rather grand. What did you do to be so valorous, Tony?
It's the Greek cross. It didn't mean anything.
Don't be so modest. Go on, tell me, what did you do?
Nothing. It was when the Germans pulled out of Athens. We were doing some mopping up operations, and I was stupid enough to get taken prisoner.
Who by?
Guerrillas. The Greek rebel forces.
I suppose he told you that he fell downstairs.
No, sir, he told me that he'd fallen up them. It's the old story, sir. Afraid to talk.
It's not often that I'm surprised in my professional life these days, but the idea of collecting extortionate rents with the aid of savage dogs, something medieval about it.
If only one of the victims would come forward, so we could at least bring an assault charge.
I suppose there were no witnesses to this particular assault?
Well, 2 old ladies across the hall, sir. They called the doctor, but they didn't see anything. They just heard it.
Then I'm afraid there's nothing that we can do. Ah, well, not a very distinguished lot. But I suppose a certain tarnished look adds rather than detracts from their luster. Why do we attend these dreadful annual gatherings, I wonder? Every year the waistlines grow, the promise and the valor fade, truth lies deeper in nostalgia, the cowards blossom into brackets, and the true heroes are dead.
Would you mind if I gave the story to the press, sir? Some publicity might encourage one of the victims of this rent racket to come forward.
Do you want to call a press conference, Sergeant?
Well, no, sir, but I thought I might mention it unofficially to some freelance journalist.
Oh, I don't see why not. I wonder who you have in mind.
I don't know, sir. I'll think of someone.
What are you going to do tonight?
Oh, I haven't any plans.
Sorry to leave you alone like this.
It doesn't matter. Got some work to do if I feel like it. If I don't, I can always read. It'd be rather fun having a whole evening to myself.
Let's try and arrange it for you more often.
A whole evening with no cutting remarks or bitter little quarrels.
I do love you, you know.
Yes, I do know.
We must try and get away somewhere together. Look, I should be free by the end of next week. Why don't we go across to Paris for a few days?
You mean it?
Yes, we could leave on Saturday morning.
Promise.
Mm.
I'll be furious if you let me down.
The last time we planned something together, it was you who backed out.
I didn't back out. You picked the one evening I was busy.
You had some trivial appointment. I get the tickets tomorrow morning. Huh? Right?
Where shall we stay?
Raphael?
Oh, darling, marvelous. Always makes me feel so wicked, all that gilt and velvet. Those divine mirrors.
You go on like this.
What?
I'm going to get out of here.
What do you mean by that cross thing?
Oh, no, it's nothing. It's just a bit of show, that's all.
Oh, you must be the prettiest one you've got. You must.
All right. To please you.
For valor.
Look, I shouldn't be late. Wait up for me. We'll have a nightcap together, all right?
Have a lovely time.
Good night.
Good night, darling. Oh, shut up. Hello.
Hello, it's me.
Oh, hello. I thought you hated newspaper women.
I don't. You're different.
Am I? How different?
Different enough. In the line of duty, would you like to go and have a talk with 2 old ladies in Notting Hill Gate?
Sounds fascinating. Yes, I'll talk to 2 old ladies.
Can you go tonight?
Tonight?
Well, you won't be there for very long.
All right. Give me their address.
Well, Jerry was here, the whole armoured platoon. Mortars, couple of 75s, anti-tank, the works. Well, left we could shift the blighter, we had an earthquake. Couldn't get a single man into the boats. Well, I was here. 8 men left in the old platoon. Well, do you know what I did?
Yes, Colonel, I do. I was with you at the time.
Well, we had a good try, didn't we? Put up an incredibly good shot.
The years go by, it gets better and more incredible.
Yes. It's funny how it all seems so different now. Everything changes. I remember when we got back to Greece and saw some of the things that Jerry had done there. I thought I'll never forget this. Well, now I drive the German car and some of our biggest contractors.
Excuse me, Colonel. Excuse me. You're Lieutenant Miller, aren't you?
Major Rose.
It's Inspector Rose now. Colonel, do you know Lieutenant Miller, Colonel Westbrook?
Miller? You weren't with us in Crete, were you?
No, sir. I was transferred to your units in Greece in 44.
Ah, yes, after the shooting was all over.
Not at all. Miller was in some of the thickest fighting there, Christmas, weren't you? He was captured by the rebel forces, and I believe you were sentenced to death, weren't you, Miller?
Yes, sir, I was.
Oh, yes, Miller. Well, we got you out of the bag, all right, anyway. Well, what have you been doing with yourself since then?
Oh, I've been out of the country quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to see you here anyway. Go and keep the old group together.
Yes, I don't seem to know anyone here at all.
Well, it's early yet.
Charles? Hello, Colonel.
Hello, Brand. How are you? How's the law business?
Staggering along,
Good, jolly good. Oh, Davis, what about that?
Charles, what happened to drink?
One of a whiskey. You do know each other, Lieutenant Miller?
No, I don't think so. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name. Brand, Anthony Brand. Brand? No. I thought perhaps we had met somewhere, but no, I suppose not. Well, what are you drinking? Whiskey? Oh, thank you very much. Yes. 3 large whiskeys, please.
He was in the bag too in Athens.
Really?
Yes, he was almost shot as a hostage as well.
As well? They didn't threaten to shoot me.
No, of course you got away, didn't you?
Yeah, the thing that appalls me about these reunions is the morbid obsession with the past.
I don't see why you should mind talking about the past, Anthony.
What do you mean by that? Oh, thank you. Cheers.
Your declarations would be shared. North Africa, Italy. Well, what's this one here?
Oh, drop it, Charles.
The Greek Cross. You must be one of the very few Englishmen to have been awarded that distinction, apart, of course, from Lord Byron. To Captain Brand for valor.
Captain? Captain Brand?
What?
Oh, nothing. It's a small world, isn't it? Yes, it's a very small world.
All right, I'm not going to eat you.
Come in, baby. Come right in.
I'm looking for the Rossiter flat.
Oh, you've come to the right place, sugar.
Does Miss Rossiter live here?
Now, what would I be doing with a skinny old lady like that? If you want Miss Julia, she's across the hall.
Thank you. Still here? Miss Rossiter?
Yes?
I'm Alice Brand. A friend, Sergeant Swift, suggested that I called on you.
Sergeant Swift, that nice young policeman who was here this evening. Do come in.
Thank you.
Maud, here's someone serious.
Miss Brand.
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
Forgive my getting up. I'm crippled with arthritis. Do sit down.
Thank you. Of course, I'm so sorry. I should have telephoned.
We don't have the telephone. Maud says we can't afford it. It wouldn't be any use to us, Julia. All our friends are dead.
I'm a freelance journalist.
Journalist?
Well, Sergeant Swift thought she wouldn't mind if I came and talked to you. I write articles for women's magazines and the Sunday papers.
What would you have to talk to us about?
Well, about this house, really, and how you feel about living here.
We've always lived here. We can't afford to live anywhere else. Maud and I were born here. This is all that is left to us now.
It must have taken quite a lot of courage to stay on.
Where else could we go with rents as they are these days, unless you're lucky enough to have a place where they're still controlled?
I suppose they've tried to drive you out.
They think they have. When once the colored people started coming in, Maud and I decided that we'd make the best of it. This was our home and we were determined to stay here. It isn't really half as bad as we thought it would be. Of course, they are rather noisy, but still some of the neighbors, I've really got quite fond of them. They're so interesting to talk to. And then the places they come from are so exciting. Pakistan, East Indies, Bahamas. I've never traveled at all myself.
But don't they feel they're being exploited? being forced to pay those appalling rents for one wretched room.
Well, what can they do, poor things?
What can anyone do?
They're afraid to protest.
They daren't go to the authorities.
When that poor Mr. D'Souza was attacked this evening, nobody dared do a thing to help him.
I told Julia to go and find our own doctor.
I ran straight along to the box at the corner, but they've put in one of those new things. I didn't know how to manage it, so I just dialed 999. I suppose that's why they sent the police.
Well, I think it was very brave of you.
We were afraid the poor man was dying.
You've no idea who's behind it all.
We don't even know who owns the house.
Nobody knows. We did try to find out once through a solicitor, but all he could tell us was that the whole street was owned by some company or other.
Well, thank you very much for letting me talk to you.
It's very nice to have seen you.
We don't often have visitors. You must tell us when your article comes out.
Goodbye, Miss Rossiter, and thank you.
Oh, and you won't print our names, will you?
No. No, of course not. No one will know that you ever talked to me.
Oh, thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Not yet, boy, not yet. Sure, Pierce, sir. Are you all right, sir? All right.
Yes, thank you.
You're with me, sir.
Thank you. What do you know about him, Charles?
Who?
The chap you introduced me to at the bar. What's his name?
Lieutenant Miller.
Yes.
Oh, nothing much. Tried to wish Westbrook could organize these things better. We're obviously not going to have dinner for at least half an hour, and I shall have no appetite left.
You said he was taken prisoner by the Greek rebel forces. About the same time as I was.
Yes, I believe he was.
Well, go on, Charles. Tell me about him.
Really, Anthony, I only saw him for 2 hours almost 20 years ago. I think it's absolutely remarkable that I've remembered his name.
How did you meet him?
I interrogated him after his release.
What did he have to say?
Oh, nothing of much interest. He was captured by General Andros's forces, taken to his headquarters, questioned and sentenced to death. Fortunately, our armored corps broke through and released him before sentence was carried out.
Why was he sentenced to death?
Oh, some of the guerrillas seemed to think that he'd been personally responsible for executing some of Andros's men. Why are you so interested in the man?
We had a similar experience as... Excuse me, Charles. I'll get another drink.
Have I had your sub for the dinner yet, Charles?
Yes, Colonel, you have. You have my check, but I have had no dinner.
So I didn't find out very much, I'm afraid.
Do you think they were afraid to talk?
No, that's what's so frightening, really. They don't seem to realize what's going on.
Well, they knew what happened to D'Souza. They called us.
Yes, I know, but it's as though none of it's quite real to them. If somebody found out those two old dears had been talking to us, they wouldn't dare do anything to them, would they?
You promised to reveal their names.
Yes, I know, but anyone who knows them could work it out for himself.
I'm going to break this racket. Even if I don't get the landlord himself, I have a good idea who the heavy glove man is. The character with the dog.
How?
D'Souza.
Well, you tried him. He wouldn't tell you anything.
I spent an hour in the public library since then.
What on earth were you doing in the public library?
Medical research. Checking up on a very unpleasant disease. Rabies.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
You buy the drink.
Well done, Always. Well done.
3 pints.
Yes, sir. Will you have the barrel?
Oh, thanks. What are you doing these days? Oh, I've been out of the country till recently. Oh, well. Well, I was in Ceylon with a tea company for a while, but that packed up. Then I tried chicken farming in Jersey. That packed up, too. Bad luck. Yes, I suppose it was. I can't say I was altogether sorry, though. I mean, about the chicken farm. Chickens are so messy, aren't they? And then, of course, you have to kill them. And that's very messy, too. I hear that you had a rough time of it in Greece. Oh, it could have been worse. They could have shot me.
I expect they were just bluffing. They never really intended to shoot you.
Oh, they intended to, all right. You see, I was accused of taking a bunch of their chaps and standing them against the wall and shooting them. Yeah, they put me lower than the Gestapo.
How did they get that idea?
A fellow prisoner told them. A British officer that was at the central barracks with me. Yes, I tried to find out who it was. One of the guards pointed him out to me. I saw him from my cell as he was exercising. Just caught a glimpse of him as he turned the corner of the yard. He was a captain of the 3rd Infantry Brigade.
Must have been pretty grim. Luckily, I was never at the central barracks. They kept me prisoner in some filthy little room in the Zeus Hotel.
Have I had your stub yet, Graham?
No, Colonel. It's £3, isn't it?
What about you, Miller?
Look, I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid I haven't brought much cash out with me. Look, can I give you a cheque?
Well, look, write me one now, will you, old boy? You'll have forgotten about it tomorrow, and I'll only have to send you a reminder.
Well, I'm afraid I've forgotten my chequebook, too.
Look, Colonel, why don't I give you the cash now, and then Miller can send me a cheque sometime later.
Well, that's very decent of you.
Good idea. Anything to save paperwork. Thanks very much, Miller. Brad, thanks.
You didn't have to do that, you know. I mean, you don't have to feel you owe me anything.
Of course not. I mean, why should I?
I mean, it was his life or mine. They would have shot him if he hadn't denounced me first.
I don't care what now. I say it's not going there.
When it's still ready, so if you don't like it, you can do your next best.
Oh, yes? Well, I'm the man in this house, and if I say it's not going there, it's not going there. Move yourself. Just move.
What are you doing? Are you a madman?
No, move,
Mind
move
the child.
yourself. Get over me. Well, take off the child out of me. You're the child. Come on.
Huh? How marvelous. Are you allowed to do that?
We're helping him, are we? The Nessie's gone to work.
I don't know.
He's taking his drums. The doctor warned him about that arm.
You know where he plays?
Oh, dear.
Oh.
We found something.
Sergeant, you're blushing.
I don't think that kind of thing's very funny.
Of course it's not funny. It's not meant to be. Hey, think this means something?
The Jamaica Club. I wonder if it's around here.
No, it's in Court Street, Soho.
Do you know the place?
I've been there.
Well, did they have bongo drums?
Well, you didn't have them when I was there, but they might have them now.
It's worth trying.
Oh. Better put this back just where I found it.
Oh, Miss Brand, thank heaven you're here. And your friend from the police.
Well, what is it, Miss Rossiter?
Maud, we've just had the most terrible fright. How dare they? This is our home. This was pushed under our door a few minutes ago.
You better shut up or we'll take a bite out of you, too. Do you know who wrote this?
No, of course not. I haven't an idea.
You've no idea?
No, I was putting away the dinner plate. I looked down and there it was on the floor.
How dare they threaten us?
Oh, don't be excited.
I'm not excited, and they needn't think I'm frightened either.
Have either of you seen a man with a dog around the house?
No. There was a lady upstairs who had a poodle.
No, it's a large dog. Probably an Alsatian.
No, I've never seen a large dog.
I heard a dog. When you were putting away the dinner plates, I distinctly heard a dog outside the door.
Who collects the rent?
Nobody. We just put it in an envelope and leave it in the box in the hall.
Who told you to do that?
Oh, it was such a long time ago, when the colored people first began coming here. I don't remember. You won't put our names in the papers, will you?
I am not afraid of them, Julia.
No, of course I won't, no.
Oh, I know it's your job to try to find out all you can about poor Mr. D'Souza, but... Oh, really, I'm beginning to wish I'd never telephoned.
Nonsense, Julia.
Couldn't you possibly...
You want me to forget it? Is that what you want?
Well, it's not for myself, but Maud can hardly take a step without me. One's so helpless.
Yeah. All right, don't worry. Forget it. Forget I was ever here. But you better keep the door locked in future and don't let anyone in unless you're absolutely sure who it is.
No.
I am not frightened of them.
Thank you so much for coming.
Goodbye, Miss Rossiter.
Goodbye.
Suppose you had to do that.
Well, you don't really think I'm going to drop it, do you?
You promised.
I'll never be safe unless I go through with it now. That's my job, to protect people like that. That's what I'm paid for. And to find that bastard. I can't tagged with the dog. I'll make him talk and tell me who he's working for.
You've got to find D'Souza first.
Charles,
I've hardly seen you all evening.
did you enjoy your dinner?
Not excessively. You and Miller seem to find plenty to talk about.
Yes, he's quite an interesting character.
Really? How odd that you should say that.
Why?
I've never known you to show the least interest in failure before.
Well, it's not his fault. He's just had a run of bad luck, that's all.
Oh, he'll always have a run of bad luck. Summing him up with my jaundiced professional eye, I'd put him down as a born drifter, catcher, and potential leech.
Excuse me, Charles.
Well, of course they do.
Ah, found out at last. Well, are you going to come quietly, then?
Colonel, I wonder if I might have a look at that list of members.
Sorry, old man, that's classified.
There's an address that I particularly want.
Oh.
I believe his name's Miller.
Oh, I'm not surprised you want Miller's address. He owes you 3 quid.
Yes, he does.
Miller, here we are, 43 Shelbourne Gardens, SW5.
Thank you very much.
You ask me, you'll never see that 3 quid again. He's a born scrounger, that chap. I can spot him a mile off. You take my advice. You be careful with him. Give him an inch, and he'll come back for more.
Thank you for your advice, Colonel.
Leaving already,
Yes, I'm rather tired.
I see your friend Miller left early, too.
Why don't you mind your own business, Charles?
Where do you think you're going?
That's my business. I'm my own big man.
Oh, yes? Well, if you put your foot out of this house tonight, you see something between me and you.
Listen, woman, don't let me cuff you down. Let go of my coat. Let it go, I said.
We're not going
I said,
anywhere.
let go of my coat. What's wrong with you, woman?
We're not going anywhere.
His drum's all right.
Can't see him.
Pale ale, please, and poker and tomato juice.
Alice! Darling! Oh, it's been simply ages.
Bobby. Bobby, how are you?
What a super frock, Ducky. You girls get all the luck. All that clinging jersey.
Bobby Bascom, John Swift.
How do you do?
Good evening.
Bobby, what are you doing these days?
Oh, my dear, I'm working here. I manage this place. Jokey, isn't it?
Very jokey.
Now, you must both have this one with me, I insist. Are you happy with that beer, John?
Very happy, thank you.
How very sensible of you. I never drink the spirits here myself. I promised my doctor I wouldn't touch anything with lead in it. Oh, but nothing seems to make you look a day older, Ducky.
Bobby, haven't you got a drummer here called D'Souza who works here?
Alfredo? Do you know him?
Well, no, but John's an old friend of his.
Oh, really? Is it Detective Constable or Detective Sergeant Swift?
Is it really that obvious?
Oh, Ducky, in this business we get more policemen than customers.
Well, what I want him for has nothing to do with this club.
I'll get him for you. He's outside.
Don't bother. I'll get him myself, thank you.
Really, darling? Shouldn't have thought that was quite your line, walking out with a policeman.
I've never known anyone quite like him before.
Oh, Ducky, I don't mean he isn't divine. He is dishy. Are you having a thing with him?
I'm not sure he's really interested.
Oh, is that all that's stopping you?
I'm married, Bobby. You know that.
So I said to her, look, baby, you stay right where you are. Because if Mohammed don't come to the mountain, then the mountain will come to Mohammed. It's that man again.
You're feeling pretty good, aren't you?
Oh, great, man, great.
Yeah, I thought you would. Just about 4 hours. Feeling even better later.
You can say that again. Another jar of this juice, man. I'm flying, you know. What are you talking about 4 hours?
That's what all the books say. Just about 4 hours.
You must be flipping, man. You're not making sense. You know, this is a policeman. He's drunk on duty. What books?
Your arm doesn't trouble you at all now, does it?
No. I've been playing them drums and don't trouble me now.
That's right. That's just what the books say.
What are you gnashing your teeth about? What books you talking
The
about?
medical books. After 3 or 4 hours, the patient will feel no pain in the injured limb. Have a general sense of well-being. A slight feeling of excitement.
4 hours after what?
After being bitten by an infected dog. It's none of my business, but you've got rabies.
You're pretty smart, aren't you? Well, you don't frighten me, man.
That's all right, I told you. It's none of my business.
So what does the book say?
After another few hours, the sense of well-being will be replaced by a general irritability. The patient gets angry, easily annoyed.
Who's angry, man? I feel great, you know. Then what?
Then after another few hours, paralysis sets in. Total paralysis. You can't move a finger. And then you die.
Are you kidding, Inspector?
Sergeant.
I ain't got no rabies. Because I wasn't bitten by no dog.
I hope not. For your sake.
I always forget to keep shillings. You've been here long? Long enough. Yes, you must find it a pretty depressing place.
Well, perhaps I could help you find something better.
There's no reason why you should.
No, there isn't. There is no reason at all.
It's funny. I somehow felt you would show up here tonight.
Look, Miller, I'd like to help you if I can, but let's get one thing straight first.
Yes?
The captain that you saw in the Central Barracks, the one that you think denounced you, it wasn't me.
I never said that it was.
It was nearly 20 years ago. You couldn't possibly recognize him after all this time.
I know, I didn't recognize him.
You admit that you didn't know his name. All you did know was that he was a captain. There must have been dozens of captains in the British Army in Greece.
Hundreds, I should think.
As long as we've got that straight.
Well, is that all you came here for? Just to get that straight?
Just wanted you to be quite clear in your own mind.
How did you mean just now? You'd like to help me?
Perhaps I could get you a job.
Well, that's very decent of you. It isn't quite as simple as all that, though.
Huh?
Well, I went to the Ex-Officer Association only the other day for an interview. You should have seen the looks on their faces. Well, I mean, clothes. They're so terribly important, aren't they?
Yes, I've only got about 15 pounds on me at the moment. It's hardly enough to get you fitted out properly. Supposing I can give you a cheque.
No. Thank you.
Or just count it as a small loan. Pay me back when you get on your feet. Eh?
You must take me for a complete idiot, Brand. Well, if I let you give me a cheque, you'd be able to hold it over me for the rest of my life. Well, you're a lawyer. You know what courts think about blackmail.
I couldn't possibly accuse you of blackmail. You have nothing to blackmail me about. We've already agreed on that.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Yes, all the same, I couldn't allow you to give me a cheque.
Well, supposing I give you £10 now, and then if you'd like to come round to my office tomorrow, I'll see you fitted out with some clothes and things like that.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate this, Brand. You know, I've often wondered about that chap, that British captain who denounced me to save his own skin. Must have been nagging away at him all these years. A sense of guilt.
My office is in the Temple. It's in the book. Shall we say 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock, fine.
Good night.
Good night, Brent. It was nice of you to pop round. Yes, I'll see you tomorrow.
Tell me, what can I do?
What about?
You know, the thing you were talking about, the rabies.
How could you have rabies? You weren't bitten by a dog, were
What
you?
can I do, man? Tell me. Tell me.
Second stage, patient gets angry, easily annoyed.
Okay. I got bit.
Whose dog was it?
Can you fix it so I won't die? What the book say?
Whose dog was it?
They call him the leopard. He's a rent collector, you know. Has a big Alsatian dog. That's what he used to sweat the money out of you.
Where can I find him?
I don't know where he lives, but he should be at a poker game right now.
Where?
Sammy Johnson's pad. The house next to mine. Second floor. What can I do?
You've got nothing to worry about.
But my throat, you know, it's dry.
If you go round to the clinic tomorrow and get an injection, you'll be perfectly all right. If you do it within 24 hours of being bitten, you've nothing at all to worry about. I've got to go now.
Why, you found him?
I think I've got a lead. Can you get home all right?
Whiskey, please,
he'll
lady.
be
Straight.
Not any further. I'll phone you and tell you what happened.
Well, I think that's...
Don't worry, Sergeant. I'll see the dear girl gets home safely.
Thank you.
That's what comes of walking out with a policeman, Ducky.
Time I wait anyway. I've got a date with my husband.
Yum. Well, finish your drink up, darling, and I'll take you back to him.
That friend of yours. He thinks he's pretty smart, doesn't he? He doesn't know what he's doing. He thinks he'll go to the leopard and say, come on down to the station, and he'll say, yes, sir. That leopard will kill him.
Darling, sounds as if it's going to be the most marvellous punch-up. Come on, darling, let's get you home first. Now, don't argue, Ducky, you're going home.
That leopard, he don't care nothing about no police. He's not going to let anyone arrest him.
Which one of you is called the leopard? You.
You. Yes, you. You great brute. Come here.
Surprise, surprise.
Charmed.
Where did you learn all that?
4 years in the Hong Kong Police Force, daughter. All
Well,
that
anyway.
lovely unarmed combat.
Many thanks. How would you like to pay that much in that?
Well, I couldn't pay it, Ducky, and I'm still single.
The leopard. Where's his dog?
Sergeant Swift, Charlie.
Well, the biggest poodle I've ever seen. Have you got a license for it?
This is our home.
Yeah. I'll tell Mrs. Brand she can bring your names now.
Darling, I'm so sorry.
I thought you'd gone to bed.
I had to go out. Didn't you even look?
What?
See if I was in. I promised I'd wait up and we'd have a nightcap together.
You did.
Tony, what's wrong?
Nothing.
You look as if someone had died.
Rather a dull evening, that's all.
You look ridiculously distinguished in a dinner jacket. For valor.